folks, Cal Kellogg and Lucy coming to you from Sugar Pine Reservoir here in the Sierra Nevada mountains. Kind of a funny story how we got here, maybe not funny, but interesting anyway. I was slated to go up to French Meadows Reservoir today for the first time in 2 years because the road to the lake has been closed. It's open now. But I decided to check the forecast last night, and good thing I did, because the wind is going to gust up to about 32 miles an hour up in the real high country today. So that didn't sound like a great option in a kayak or even a great option in my small boat. So changed plans, headed over to Sugar Pine Reservoir. This is a great rainbow fishery. It was last planted on May 26th. Today is June 26th, so it was planted 1 month ago. Surface temp 73.8 degrees, 74 degrees, it's kind of bouncing a little bit. Warm surface temperature, okay? I'm going to be running the downrigger. On the downrigger, I'm going to start out with a bubblegum pink Trout Trix worm. Always a great option when you think there's planted trout around or even wild trout. And on the lead core, I am going to be running a pink woolly booger. We're going to get out here. We're going to take the temperature of the fish, see if we mark some fish. I'm going to put that downrigger down 25 to 30 feet to start off with. I'm going to probably put the lead core down about 20 feet. We're just ready to rock and roll. So we'll get the lines wet here, see what happens, and see if we can get our fish on. Here we go. Fish on that fast. Oh, Sugar Pine, man, I love this lake. I've had so much fun at this lake over the years. That was quick. Now, I've never caught anything really big here. Biggest trout I've ever seen come out of here, my wife caught years ago off the bank on an inflated worm. It was about a 20-inch rainbow. There are some signs up at the upper end of the lake that indicate that there is natural spawning taking place in here. I've never documented it, but certainly is possible. I mean, we're up here in the high Sierras, plenty of water, plenty of cold water. Somewhat remote, although this area gets a lot of camping and motorcycling and stuff in the summer, but still fairly remote. So do I think trout spawn in here? Probably some, and I have seen trout up the tributaries in the summertime. And I've thought about fly fishing for them. I just never really got around to it. Oh, don't tell me that fish is in my lead core. He's way over there. Oops, I don't know what's going on here. Oh, there we go. Oh, nice fish. Nice fish. Deploy the net. There we go. Oh, beautiful rainbow. That's a nice surprise there. We're going to get him back in the water. We're keeping no fish today. It's all catch and release. There we go, guys. Trout Trix worm. First trout of the day. The Trout Trix seldom disappoints. I'm going to get this guy in the net, off the hook, get him revived, and get him back in the water because he's a rambunctious little devil. Get my worm adjusted here and get it back out there. Jumped all over it, had him hooked really nice in the lower jaw. No way he was getting away. Even if he was a 5-pound fish, he wasn't getting away. So we'll get that back down. Well, I got to reel up the down rear. We'll get that down, back down to about 25 feet and see if we can get another fish in the net. Sugar Pine Reservoir is very close to the town of Forest Hill. That's where I live. And it does get some fishing pressure, both from, campers, people traveling into the region, but also from locals. This is kind of our little local lake where a lot of local people like to go out and fish. For example, this morning, there's a couple old gentlemen up there, seniors, pulling night crawlers and blades out of a tin boat. And I imagine there's been someone out here just about every day. So, in coming up here and kind of regrouping for a trip to Sugar Pine rather than French Meadows, I thought about things and I thought, well, perhaps the fish are a little spooky. The water's warm. The planted trout have been in here for a month, so they've probably seen some presentations. And that's why I opted to go with somewhat subtle presentations. The Trout Trix at a low speed, it exhibits a ton of action, and I'm pretty confident it's something they haven't seen, and it already paid off. The pink woolly booger, the same thing. Pretty compact package, a lot of action. and not an intimidating bait, and I've already got hit on that. In fact, I hooked a fish and he shook it right away. So my instincts were correct. Now when you get to a lake, you should have an A plan, a B plan, and a C plan. I just got hit there. But and be ready to work through those plans. There we go, I got a fish on the woolly booger. The way things are working right now, both my presentations are paying off. They're both hooking fish, so I might not have to change baits today. I see some fish down there at about 40 feet too. I may not have to change baits for the rest of the day, but you've always got to, assess. You've got to take the temperature of the fish, see if the bite's changing. Did you have wind and it goes glassy? Was it glassy and it gets windy? Bites do change throughout the day, so you've got to be ready to adapt. But right now, I'm going to say I got these fish pretty dialed in because I've been out here about 10 minutes and I've hooked 3 fish. 2 on the woolly booger and 1 on the Trout Trix worm, and I might have got hit on that Trout Trix worm and just saw it out of the corner of my eye. There's a shallow point up here, so I'm going to have to turn. This woolly booger was working down at 15 feet. Woo, he's fighting. Oh, some head shaking going on now. I may add a trolling weight to this lead core outfit, just so I can get down to the fish. Oh, another nice rainbow. Just so I can get down to these fish without having out a ton of line. I'm just gonna high stick this guy over here. There we go. Haha, pink woolly booger, guys. Awesomeness. Let's see. We'll get this little guy off the hook. Get him right back in the water, just like that, and off he goes. He was hooked right in the corner of the mouth. Now on this woolly, I got a couple bobber stops on there between the fly and the action disc, and just to kind of tame the action down a little bit, I'm pulling those bobber stops up, I'm going to say 1/2 to 3/4 of an inch, and you can see I'm creating some space there, which kind of moderates the action. That's a small fly, it's a number 6 fly, and woolly boogers, they're just one of the top flies you can fish, whether you're trolling, fly fishing, whatever, and just works well. But you don't want to overwhelm it with too much action because it is a small fly. So let's get this back out here. I'm going to try one at 10 feet this time. Go a little bit shallower. That last fish came relatively shallow considering we have 74-degree water on the surface. The trout can't really live in 74-degree water. But when you hit the lake first thing in the morning, or the last hour or so of the evening, you can catch fish. That last trout came in relatively shallow water considering we have a 74-degree surface temperature. Now, the trout can't survive in 74-degree water long term, but they will come up into warm water early and late in the day to feed. So just because you have a high surface temperature, I got another fish on that woolly right there. Just because you have a warm surface temperature, this one was only at 10, doesn't mean you can't pull trout out of it. It means that you're not going to find them there long term. They're not going to hang out in that water all day long. I've caught trout bass fishing at Lake Shasta in 80-degree water on crankbaits that only dove down about 6 feet. So just because the surface temperature is warm, first thing in the morning, absolutely run some baits in it and see if you can hook some fish, because they do move up when they want to feed. They'll dart up into that warm water, grab a morsel to eat, and go back down into cooler water where they're more comfortable. This fish got some shoulders. He's feisty. He feels heavy. That's interesting. We'll see. Like I said, I've never caught a really big trout in this lake, but this one's representing pretty dang well. What do you think there, Lucy? That's 3 hookups on a woolly booger, although one was really brief. 2 were really strong. I put another woolly booger on, put that on the downrigger, but we'll see. I'm catching fish, so no big rush to change things up when you're catching fish. Trout fishing's all about putting together a pattern. Absolutely. Love the lead core, baby. He's got to be getting close. Oh, there he is. Oh, nice fish. I'm going to try the old lifteroo on this one. Oh, he's thrashing. Oh, we got him. We got him. Look at that one. Oh, that's a nice one. That one's got a clean tail. He might have been in here for a while. Get him off the hook and get him back in the water. What a handsome rainbow he is. That's a nice fish. Pink woolly booger. There you go. Go get him, Tiger. Right back down he went. Awesome. Awesomeness. Fish on the trout tricks. Fish on the trout tricks. Right. Oh. Right there. Wow, what a bite. I got a quick tip for you guys. So, when you go trout fishing, your first goal is always to establish a pattern of what they're going to hit the best at, any given time. Your second goal should always be to cut the lake down to size if possible. I launched the launch ramps right here. I've been grinding in a very narrow oval here, and this is the fifth fish I've hooked in about 30 minutes. So if you find the fish concentrating on a point, concentrating just on any feature, concentrating in open water, stay with those fish. Don't leave fish to find fish. Don't leave that area until the fish give you a reason to leave. I'm very happy grinding my little oval here. I'm gonna stick with it, and you should do the same when you're out on the water and you find some fish concentrated in the area. Work it hard. Work it thoroughly, and don't leave until the fish stop biting. Let's see what I got. Oh boy, that is a nice rainbow right there. Get the net. Deploy the net. Oh, oh! He came off, and he came off, and he swam into the net, which is all fine because I'm gonna let him go anyway. But that was cool. Look at that feisty guy. Look at that feisty fella. Come here, you. Oh, you thought you escaped, but you didn't. You didn't. Put him right back in the water. Nice pan-sized trout. Power dive. There he goes. Awesome. I love it. That's just cool. Haven't changed a thing, guys. That was 25 feet deep, about 1.8 miles an hour. I saw him messing with it. I varied the speed a little bit, and hook up. Phenomenal. Whoa, jumped over the net. There we go. Fish on, folks, and I think this is going to be the final one of the day. This is the 20th fish this morning, and we've only been on the water for about 2 hours and 15 minutes. I'm going to let Lucy get her swim on. Ooh, this is a fighter too, and I'm going to head back home. What a phenomenal morning of trout fishing in the High Sierra. Just absolutely amazing action. I'm starting to get a little warm. And like I say, this is the 20th fish if I'm lucky enough to get him in the net. So, wow, this one's fighting like a big dog. He's not a big dog, but he thinks he is. Trout Trix worm. He thinks he's a big dog. Right there. I'm gonna let Lucy get her swim on and get this fish back in the water. And well, folks, that was an absolutely phenomenal morning of trout fishing by any measure at any lake. Anytime you can go out and catch 20 fish in a little over 2 hours, you've enjoyed some really outstanding action. Don't want to be greedy, gonna leave some fish for somebody else. There's a few other fishermen showing up out here today. I got some chores to do, so I am gonna hit the road. Thanks for joining me on YouTube, and if you're looking for fishing gear, you know where to go. FHSfishing.com. There you'll find trout, tricks, worms, woolly boogers, rods, reels, and a whole lot more. Make your order. Wes will get it shipped out to you really quickly, and you'll be yelling fish on. I want to thank you for all the support you guys have given the channel, all the support you've given to the store. Without you folks, none of this would be possible. I'm Kel Kellogg. This is Lucy the Labrador. She's going swimming, and we will catch you next time right here on YouTube, guys. Thanks a ton.